Guys, deluded, quick one, quick vid. I'm not going to keep you guys here long, but if you're an Arsenal fan or fans of any other club, if you're a Liverpool fan, I guarantee you're scrolling your timeline or your Sky Sports app or whatever to see if this Fekir, has it been done. If you're United, you're anxiously waiting to see the impact of Fred's injury because he's been injured for the World Cup, but you're happy with that. So Liverpool and United fans are seeing incomings. Chelsea are allegedly in talks for Seri. Spurs are in talks allegedly for Delight and all these players. There's all different rumours in it. None of them are facts. Specifically to Arsenal, we're just dying to see some players come in. Yeah, we've seen Liechtenstein and Socrates will be announced in July allegedly. So there are two signings already done. But we want to see more in the sense that, yeah, we want to see more. It don't matter what club you support. So let's talk about some of the rumours that we've come across. So, the young Turkish centre half that we're watching, very decent centre half. His agent again, Sono, I can't even say his name. I'm not even going to attempt, man. I used to have it, but yeah, Freiburg guy. Obviously he's been playing for Turkey in international week, or not even international week, international month, playing friendlies for countries that are going to the World Cup. His agent keeps talking up the things. He said Arsenal again. He hasn't said something we haven't already known. That Arsenal are watching him, that we've been watching him, that Sven Mislintat wanted him when he was at Dortmund, and he's watched him, and he and all of these things, and to a degree started talking up his client, as you have a right to as an agent. He's saying he thinks his qualities will adapt well in the Premier League. He's good with both feet. He listed all the positive things about being a centre half, or any good centre half would like in their Arsenal. He's also, again, to get the best deal for himself and his client and the club. He's whether this interest is true or not, he's talking up the things. He said 4 or 5 Premier League clubs, Arsenal concrete interest and concrete talks. 4 or 5 Premier League clubs have inquired, some from France and some from Spain, and he name dropped Atletico Madrid. Obviously, if you do these things, it's basic supply and demand. If more people want a product, the price can go up in it. So that's even away from football. That's just basic economics 101. So if you apply that to this footballer that allegedly everybody wants, you see the case in it. Hopefully we get Soyuncu. I hope I said his name correctly, and we do this thing, man. I like him a lot. He looks rough around the edges, but I like him, man. So that's that one. Sorted. Lucas Torreira, someone you saw me make a video a month ago and speaking videos on someone that we need, man. We need. There's talk of being Kante, being Santi. You can draw a slight similarities to Kante because they both win the ball back, but I don't really personally think he's anything like Kante. I don't think he's anything like Santi, but if you were to look at both of them, I think you could say he's a mix between the two because he box to box, but he leans more towards the Santi side for me personally because he can win the ball back and stuff like that, even for a small guy. But it's just the ball at his feet sometimes, man. He's quicker with the ball at his feet. Some of the passes he does is ridiculous. He's a player we need, man. He's a player we need. Between him and Nzonzi, we need them. Allegedly, I told you guys as well how I saw months ago that allegedly Napoli are in for him, and that allegedly Napoli are still in for him, and allegedly we're in the mix. Apparently, we've actually agreed terms and stuff, and we're willing to pay the release clause. But apparently, the agent fees that come with concluding this deal is something that's making us bulk. So we'll see what's going to happen. You can imagine he's going to be a watched man, a heavily watched man in regards to the World Cup. Everybody seems to know him, and everybody will know when the thing's done. So yeah, if he has a good World Cup, the price is going to go up to a degree. Depending on if you want to pay on add-ons and stuff, and you know Arsenal like to save money. Of course, it would be cheaper to just pay his 22 release clause, which probably has to be paid in full. But you know Arsenal will want to do this incentive-based thing, so they could offer a little bit more than his release clause because they have to pay less up front, sort of thing. So we'll see how that develops. Savic of Lazio, another centre midfielder with a lot of physical presence and potential. And if you don't know about him, if he has a good World Cup, he will. Allegedly, we're interested in him. It's so much so that we're in talks. The only difference is where we've agreed to pay a release clause and we're having problems with the agent fees for Torreira, it's almost in reverse to a degree because we've agreed apparently agent fees and contract talks and wages and all them sort of things with the player, but we haven't agreed a fee with the club. Not just us, apparently Real Madrid is interested as well, but everybody's getting quoted 100 odd million, which quite rightly so. As much as I like him, they're bulking at paying that price. So maybe negotiations. If I'm Sampdoria and Lazio, to be honest with you, I'll be doing the same thing they're doing because these clubs are not rich. It's the World Cup. Their players already highly sought after in Europe. If they have even a fraction of a decent World Cup, the price goes up and it makes all the difference, man. And these guys have good scouting networks and seem to always replace these sort of players season in, season out. It's a good bit of money. moving on to Portugal now, and allegedly we've bidded for Gelson Martinez. He wants to come, and and these things there. So we'll see how that one develops. Another one that's at the World Cup. Another one that the game that sticks out for me in Champions League, Sporting versus Dortmund. Don't remember the scoreline. I just remember how we played, and that was a great game. We need a winger. 20 odd million region pounds is being quoted. We'll see how that one develops. But I must admit, I'm very pessimistic on all of these things, apart from Sayuncu. But yeah, man. Moving on from Gelson Martins, and forgive me if I didn't say this name correctly, but Lucas Koster, man. He's plays for Leipzig. Apparently, Arsenal want him. Arsenal want him to replace Mertesacker. He can play all across the back line, at centre half, at full back, either side. I think currently he's getting the most games at full back. I haven't watched my man like that and preed my man like that, apart from when he was playing at the Olympics, because I watched the Olympics. That's about it, which would make him a silver medalist. I haven't seen much of him, but if he's being linked with Mertz to a long-term replacement of Mertesacker, and he can play all these positions, I just have to assume a man is, without watching him too tough, a man is intelligent, he's able to play multi-roles, he's able to think enough, he's disciplined and all of these things. And if he is this good, or if he can be decent and things, I'm all for it, man. But I must admit, it does feel that link does feel like a bit like genuine interest, but I can't see the logic behind it. Yeah, for all his potential and things, you could sign him, but let's just say, based on it appears he's made the bulk of his 39 appearances, and he's contracted till 2021 at his club, but the bulk of his 39 appearances have come at fullback, right? There's Monreal and Kola on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, there's Hector Bellerin, and you just got in Liechtenstein. We need a centre-half. There's strong links with a lot of centre midfielders. Some might be bogus, some might be legit. So this shows you the club is trying to invest in other areas or save their 50 million in other areas. Would it now make sense to go and bring in this guy, especially when you're allegedly Socrates has been done, and allegedly Soyuncu is coming in? I must admit, it is reaching, especially when you know centre-halves, whether it's Chambers, Bielik or Holding, have departed the club, or Mustafi. At least at this moment in time, I do think it's reaching. You can see the links, obviously, because of our heavy German influence at the club and Mislintat. And if he's a good player, I'm all for it, man. He's only 22 as well, so I would love it. We've been linked with another one I haven't seen, but of Botafogo. I can't even say these names, man. I'm moving like I can't speak. But Mateus Fernandes, another central midfielder. Allegedly, Arsenal are willing to pay 40 million. I haven't seen him, so I can't talk on him. I'm not going to pretend like these other YouTubers, innit? But just on the basis of, and when you factor in, I haven't said it, but Nzonzi's been linked as well, and a couple other midfielders. We're clearly looking to invest in the central midfield, and a lot of these tabloids are just running with that and inventing stories. But if you just look between the lines, we're clearly looking at bringing in centre mid. Evidently, we're being linked with hella centre half, so there's a centre half. It's a bit of an open book, and we know we need a winger, but the spine needs to be improved more, or it's more of a priority. You're starting to see us be linked with wingers a bit more, or the reports linking us to wingers are getting stronger. So you can kind of, without reading too much into individual players and will he, won't he, is it bogus, is it not, you can kind of see how our club is shaping up to a degree. Off topic, if you Chelsea get Seri and play with Kante, that could be decent, man. But I don't know why I said that. It has no relevance to this. It was just in my head. But yeah, man, I don't think I got nothing else. But you guys know from time to time I bring you these things. So yeah, man, enjoy your day or night or whatever you're doing as you watch this. Guys, deluded, I'm out, man.